additive manufacturing process, like printed part used in many applications. One of the major application is tooling. You fabricate a component, and fabricated component is used as a tool, and generally this tool are manufactured through CNC machining and EDM and other methods. So if you take EDM, it is unconventional method. Why we are using unconventional method? Because the material whatever we are using for tool is very hard. So it's very difficult to do a machining in conventional manufacturing process. That is, by using a tool insert, it's very difficult to do a machining. So uh, toolless machining operation, like unconventional machining operations like EDM, UCM, ECM, laser cutting. So these are all laser machining. So these are all some of the process where you do not have a tool, and because of that you can work on some harder material. So most of the tools are initially machined using a machining process, then fine finished using a EDM process, right? So the cost involved in tooling is very high, because you have to make a tool hard component, because after you made a tool, it has to undergo wear and high temperature loading. So the material whatever you are choosing for tool highly resistance to wear as well as for temperature loading. So the cost involved in procuring a material and machining is very high. And if there is any change in design, again you have to change your tool, which directly affects the cost of your overall product. So in that scenario, using the same material or similar material, you could able to create a tool by using additive manufacturing process rapidly, without the need of EDM or EDM combined with CNC machining. And this we already did discuss the application of additive manufacturing and tooling. And this can be of two types. That is, you make a pattern. From a pattern, you create a die, and using the die, you go for a manufacturing. So you make a additive manufactured pattern, and from pattern, you create additive manufactured pattern. From pattern, you create a die. Or otherwise, you can directly make a additive manufactured die, and this die can be used for end application. Since we are using additive manufacturing, you can rapidly get your tool. Either it could be a direct tool or indirect tool by using a additive manufacturing. Because of that, this process is generally called as RPT, is rapid prototyping, or RPT tool type tools, where those days it is as a prototype, now a tool directly in manufacturing. So this topic, in this session, we are going to concentrate mainly on how the tooling part is used in some of the manufacturing process. We are not going, but only on a major manufacturing process where additive manufactured component is either used as a tool or a die. So one of the application is a vacuum casting. Vacuum casting is very important process manufacturing manufacturing activity. So we all know about vacuum casting. We are not going to discuss about vacuum casting. We are going to discuss how additive manufacturing is used for vacuum casting. So if you take vacuum casting process, you have your hope and drag. For example, in this case, the drag is mentioned, and you have to keep your pattern. So the blue color component is your pattern. The pattern is there, and on the top of the pattern, you are going to pour a ram. You have to ram a sand. So you have a pattern kept inside the flask. Over the between the pattern and the flask, you put a sand and ram it. Then you have to give riser and runner for material to, right. This is general casting process. But what is unique about vacuum casting? In vacuum casting, the pattern will have minute holes, the white color holes. So the pattern will have a large number of minute holes, and these holes are connected to a vacuum pressure. So while you go for a ramming, you are going to apply a pressure only on the top, right? So top surface get compacted, but to achieve a better finish on the bottom surface, you are going to pull, you are going to pull the sand across the contour of your pattern, but between the sand and the part, you have a thin green color line. It's laminated plastic. The sand particle come into the part. So this will help you to achieve better contour profile, the internal structure. You could able to get a better casted contour. So casting is not a new. Vacuum casting required a pattern with a vented hole, and in some case, to achieve the better compactability, this vacuum vent can be in inclined shape also. So it is very difficult to make in conventional manufacturing process. Because of this pattern is manufactured through additive manufacturing. So the major point which you like to take from this is why additive manufacturing component is required for vacuum casting, because the vacuum casting required a vented pattern. Uh, um, some case this vent might be in not in a straight manner, it might be inclined in a manner. This can be easily made through additive manufacturing. This is how you can justify requirement of additive for vacuum casting. Similarly, the vacuum casted process can also be casting, that is metal casting process. So you have a furnace. The furnace, you have a metal. Heat the furnace so that it will be in molten. On the top, you have a holder. Mold is kept in between. Now, this mold will also have a cavity. So, immerse this mold holder into the bath, and you have to apply a vacuum. So, this vacuum will help you to suck the material cavity. So, here also you may require a metal die. You may require a which have a non-linear vent to convert a vacuum into pressure, negative pressure, that it can suck the material into cavity. So here the mold, metal mold is manufactured through. So in the previous case, pattern is mold is manufactured through. The requirement is you get a negative pressure. So another case in plastic, vacuum casting is common. It can be used in casting or die casting, even in room temperature vulcanization process will be required. So in this case, you develop a CAD model. We do not know. You develop a CAD model. You print a CAD model in additive manufacturing. SLA process is to manufacture a CAD model. Then once you manufacture it, you remove the support and take away the component. Then you put a component into a container. Then you have to pour a silica gel, pour a silica in a resin, apply a temperature, or sometimes it may be mixed with hardener. So hardener will convert resin into a solid after a period of time. You can use a catalyst or you can apply temperature. The gel will get hardened. Internally, with the hardened component pattern. Then, by using a knife, you cut this because it's elastomer, cut a silicon. Then remove the component, the pattern. Where you again, you close the silica. Then you apply a vacuum because you are going to pour a real component. Polyurethane is the final grade for this. So you manufacture, let us say you have manufactured within polymethyl methacrylic. So using additive manufacturing, you manufacture a PMMA. Then you insert a PMMA to get a mold using a silicon resin. Then once the pattern is removed, you get a cavity within the silicon resin. So in that cavity, you can pour whatever the material required based on the compactability. In case polyurethane is used, pour with a vacuum condition. So you should have otherwise it will create a void. Pour the component vacuum condition. Then again allow this to get hardened, vacuum assisted. Then already you have made a parting line in a silicon. Remove this parting line if you are able to remove the polyurethane compound. Then you cut a so what it says, for example, your customer required a component polyurethane, but you do not have a machine to make up. For example, the facility whatever you have doesn't support the polyurethane, so no need to avoid a requirement. Do this way, you can meet the requirement. Whatever the material you have, you print a component through this indirect tooling, because additive manufactured component pattern. So through this indirect tooling method, you're able to achieve the final component. So I used to see there are some issues. We do not have the requirement of a material in additive manufacturers. It's very difficult to do a layer by layer addition for all materials. But still, if you require that material in that rapid manner, the same polyurethane can be obtained through other manufacturing. But here, I required rapidly. In that case, you can use, so especially the vacuum casting. So this is what I have shown. The cavity, especially in automobile lighting. So they go for a real production. For their initial design, they have alpha prototype. All necessary components. So the prototype.
Excuse me, sir. Your voice is not clear, sir.
Okay. So in this case, you can see the silicon mold. So whatever you could able to see here, it is a silicon mold. And this is the cavity, and this is the final component. So especially in automobile lighting industry, this application is used. The vacuum casting procedure through additive manufacturing is used for pre-launch product. And the other application is injection molding. We all know about injection molding process. So you have a pellet, uh, uh, pour the pellet into the screw extruder, apply a heat, then transfer the molten pellet material into the cavity. So here the die can be manufactured through additive manufacturing process. So it is an example for direct tooling. You make a die, and for example, you have some complex shapes, or you have a shape where you are going to do a manufacturing for limited number of product. So in that case, no need to invest heavily on die. You can go for a soft tooling, and using the injection molding process, you can get a component. So here, the application of additive manufacturing is to make a mold for injection molding process. It can be for complex shapes, but higher number of cycles you can go through a metal tool, or softer material like aluminum or plastic material mold can be manufactured, which can be used for minimum number of products. So that will be like a soft tool. Okay, so this is what another case of injection molding process for additive manufacturing. Cell phone keypad. So you start with a CAD model. Here we are going to do a CAD model for the negative shape. So this is the final component. So for this final component, the negative shape is manufactured. So the negative shape is first initially modeled, right? Then you prepare a silicon mold. You prepare a silicon resin. the model, whatever the CAD model you have, that is manufactured through FDM process. So you can see top and bottom portion of your mold. So between top and bottom portion, you pour a silicon resin. Silicon is injected into the cavity. Here the red color silicon and here the white color silicon is injected. Now it is in a resin form, right? So once you pour the resin into the cavity, you close the component and keep it inside the curing chamber. So based on the material composition, whatever you have taken, either you can cure it without thermal or with thermal resistance. So you cure it using this chamber, then the cured component can be taken out. So this is one classical example how you can see the additive manufactured component, maybe fewer number of keyboard. If you need lakhs of keyboard, then this is not a methodology. But you are involved in new product development or prototype you require. Even in prototype, you need a specific material. So no need to worry about the material constraint in additive manufacturing. You go for a tooling, then within the tool, you pour whatever the material you require. If it is compatible with the die material, then you could able to achieve the prototype. So this will gives you a way for developing a prototype component or fewer number of component using additive manufacturing. So investment casting, we all know that in this case, in investment casting, the additive manufactured component is used as wax. So using additive manufacturing, there are some additive manufacturing process which can print a wax component. So according to the shape, same shape, in the previous case negative shape, but in this case, whatever your final component, the same component has to be made in wax through additive process. Then you immerse the wax in a slurry. Then you pour a molten material, harden the slurry, pour a molten material so that the wax will drain, and the cavity created by wax will be filled with the molten metal to get a final component. Here, additive manufacturing, okay, wax component, fine feature wax component, especially SLA based process, because it uses very less layer thickness in micrometer, so you can use. Another important process is reaction injection molding. We have already discussed about injection molding, but what is reaction injection molding? In reaction injection molding, in injection molding, whatever we do, it is thermal assisted, right? So you are applying a temperature to cure a molten plastic. You have a pellet, plastic in the form of pellet. You melt a pellet, then you allow the molten plastic into a cavity, then cure it. After curing, you get a component. That is injection molding. But reaction injection molding is somewhat different from injection molding. In reaction injection molding, the temperature requirement is reduced. We do not want a much high temperature in reaction injection molding. Instead of using a temperature based curing, thermal curing, here we are going to inject two plastic. So one will be in a resin format, other will also be in resin format. Once this two plastic get into a contact, after a period of time, the reaction between these two plastic will take place so that you get a hardened component. So here we are having a molten resin, but we are not going to cure a molten resin. So it is not in high temperature. It is a resin, which is in physical form. It is a resin without any temperature. There is another resin without any temperature in physical form, but when these two resin get into a contact, it get hardened. So it is called chemical reaction. So a lot of epoxy based material, especially for aerospace component, they are using this technique. Why additive manufacturing is used? Because most of the additive manufactured plastic and some metal cannot withstand very high temperature. So you cannot use additive manufactured mold for all tooling in injection molding because of temperature limitation. But in reaction injection molding, there is no temperature requirement, only through a chemical reaction. So if the material is compatible for the chemical reaction, then you can comfortably use additive manufactured component for reaction injection molding. So this is one of the important activity for additive manufacture tooling process. Injection molding. Okay. The other process is spin casting. Spin casting is similar to the casting process, but instead of pouring a material into the cavity, here the molten material is allowed inside the tube, and it is also rotated. So because of the centrifugal force, so for example, in the center the metal will be poured, and the entire mold will be rotated. Because of the centrifugal force, the molten material will enter into the cavity. So you can use this for a symmetrical component, or you can take multiple product in a single batch. So in this case also you can use additive manufactured component as a die material. First part is cast resin tooling. So cast resin tooling is similar to silicon. In silicon vacuum casting, what we have done, we have taken a mold, we have taken a pattern. On the pattern we are pouring a silicon resin and allow the resin to harden, and after hardening you cut the silicon, remove the pattern, and use the silicon as a cavity for subsequent manufacturing. Same is used in cast resin tooling. Cast resin tooling. But in cast resin tooling, the only difference is the silicon, whatever the resin you are pouring, that will be mixed with ceramic or alumina. It is alumina based ceramic material. So the resin will be filled with some ceramic material. So what will happen? The temperature resistance of the mold will increase. The only difference is it is same like your silicon casting, but you are going to mix a silicon or the epoxy material with some high temperature resistant material, so that the strength of the component as well as the temperature resistance of the mold will get increased. So that is final part of our application, rapid manufacturing.